Good morning. I'm meteorologist Kevin Smith here at the National Weather Service in Pocatello with another edition of your Southeast Idaho Weather Hazard and Planning Briefing. Once again, please disregard the incorrect date up here in the upper right of these slides. This briefing is for Thursday, April 8th, 2021. Taking a look at the next few days, we're really in kind of a flip-flop pattern, if you want to think of it that way. About every day, we're going to be flipping between a storm system or no storm system across the region. So today, wind and blowing dust is what we're concerned about across southeast Idaho, particularly from about 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Friday, break between systems with sunshine, really quiet conditions. Saturday, we flip back. Another system moving into southeast Idaho with wind and blowing dust concerns, again, about the same time frame, 10 a.m. or 10 p.m., 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. or so. And then Sunday, we'll flip back to another break between systems and more really pleasant, quiet, sunny conditions across the region. Confidence, particularly in the wind event today and the break on Friday, very high at this point. There is no way we're not going to be windy today across southeast Idaho. Confidence moderate and growing for Saturday and Sunday. Saturday definitely looking like another windy day, although we're still watching trends in a few of our parameters here. And Sunday looking pretty solid for another break before confidence breaks down as we go into early next week on whether another system will be on tap for the region. Current satellite this morning, not a lot you can pick out here, and I apologize for the glitchiness again in this image, a little software problem there, but you can see a little bit of a wave kind of moving in across the Pacific Northwest here, across Oregon and northern Idaho and Washington. And not a lot of moisture associated with this. I think your best chance for precipitation with today's system is going to be further north you go, up into northern Idaho and Montana. But we will see a few spots, mostly the mountains north and east of the Snake Plain, brushed by a few isolated light low impact rain and snow showers as we go through the day today. Again, the big story is really going to be that wind. Really easy to tell where those storms are here on the Weather and Impacts Outlook. Again, this hasn't really changed since our briefing yesterday. Moderate impacts down across the Snake Plain, the eastern Magic Valley, into some of the adjacent highlands to the south and east. Very windy conditions today. And blowing dust is going to be a big concern in addition to difficult driving for high-profile vehicles. And that's our greatest source of uncertainty as well. I'll talk on that in just a moment. Elsewhere, breezy conditions everywhere across the region and maybe a few of those light rain and snow showers. Again, up across the mountain regions of the Central Mountains, the Upper Snake Highlands, some of the Eastern Highlands, maybe down toward getting pretty close to Idaho Falls, Rigby, and Rexburg as well. But this should be really light, low-impact activity and not a big deal for you today. A break on Friday. We got a repeat performance, very similar on Saturday with, again, moderate wind impacts, maybe blowing dust down across the Snake Plain and Magic Valley, and then quiet again on Sunday and potentially on Monday. Okay, so we're going to start off with today, since we have most of our impacts here during the afternoon today. Wind advisory remains in effect for a decent portion of our forecast area here in southeast Idaho. This includes the eastern Magic Valley, the whole Snake Plain corridor, and a few zones here adjacent into the highlands just to the south and east of this area. So down across Cassia County and up toward McCammon as well, included in this advisory. And the Boise Weather Service office has added a wind advisory as well for the rest of the Magic Valley up into the Treasure Valley and southwest Idaho. So this shows really nicely where the main corridor of impacts with wind and potential blowing dust are going to be across the region today. And again, everyone's going to be breezy, just a little stronger here where we have the advisory in effect. High temperatures today, not terribly bad, really close to seasonal averages, maybe a couple degrees cooler than climatological norms for early April. Getting up into the mid to upper 40s for a few of our population centers in the mountains, and then mid to upper 50s down across lower elevations, including the Snake Plain, eastern Magic Valley, and southern Highlands. Okay, here's an update on the wind. This has changed very little from the briefing that we brought you yesterday. Timing of the strongest winds expected to be, we adjusted this a little, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. today. You'll start to see those winds increase slowly over the course of the morning this morning. Particularly if you're up higher in elevation and near the peaks, those winds aloft are going to get strong first, so you'll notice it up high. Going to take a while for those winds to get down to the surface, but by, I'd say, 10, 11 noon, we're going to see a pretty rapid increase of those wind speeds right down into the valleys. Greatest concern. So first, let's look at speeds. The image on the left here is sustained winds from our forecast, and the image over here on the right is wind gusts expected today, and again in that 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. time frame. You can see that advisory corridor from the eastern Magic Valley up to the Snake Plain lit up for sustained winds out of the west-southwest, 25 to 35 miles per hour. And then that corridor gusting 45 to maybe 55 miles per hour across the region here. And outside of this main corridor, generally about 15 to 25 mile per hour sustained winds, but everybody's going to have a chance to see gusts of 40 miles an hour or better today, and may even see isolated higher gusts here at the peaks, and a few other isolated spots that tend to overperform may gust a little bit higher than that today. Greatest concerns remain difficult driving for high-profile vehicles. That'll especially be the case on north-south or northwest-southeast highways where we can get crosswinds going. That's pretty much a given. The big question mark, and we outlined this yesterday, the big low confidence but potentially high impact wild card is what we're calling it, blowing dust. If surface soils across active agriculture areas can really dry out, by the time the winds pick up this afternoon, we're in about a 48-hour period right now where we've not seen precipitation. Certainly there is the potential for significant issues with blowing dust across the region. That'll include some of those normal trouble spots like I-15 up here near Roberts and Idaho Falls, also down in the Fort Hall area along I-15, maybe I-86 from American Falls to the Arbin Valley area, and then isolated other locations. Could see very significant blowing dust, very low visibilities, and problems with that throughout the day. On the other hand, we did see some precipitation just a couple days ago across the region, rain and snow on Monday and Tuesday, and we really don't have a great way to closely monitor soil moisture. So really we're going to be waiting and seeing. Our confidence is going to remain low in this until we can start to watch those webcams as the winds pick up today and see how those surface soils start responding. So just to be safe, we want you to be prepared for the potential for some high impact blowing dust issues, again, particularly in that 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. time frame today. Lesser concerns, again, this is an advisory level event. It's lower than our warning level, so tree damage, a few limbs down, power outages should remain pretty isolated across the region based on the wind speeds that we are currently forecasting. So this is the concern. If we do get that drying, images like this may become reality across the region, particularly this afternoon. So to be prepared for that, a few safety tips. If you are driving and you encounter those areas of very low visibility due to blowing dust, slow down, reduce your speed is number one. Turn your lights on, okay? Make sure anyone else around you in that low visibility has the best chance to know you're there. If it gets really bad, you need to tap your horn occasionally. It's another way you can let other vehicles know where you are. Use the painted lines on the road to help guide you, and may be able to get out of these areas of low visibility pretty quick. Otherwise, if you do need to pull over, try to get off the road as far as possible. Find a safe location to stop until conditions improve. Snowfall today, again, mix of rain and snow showers, very light, very isolated up to the north and east of the Snake Plain. A few of those rain showers may try to get down toward Rexburg and Idaho Falls, but you can see as far as snow goes, really isolated, light amounts, maybe an inch or less in the spots where the snow is able to stick this afternoon and this evening. High temperatures on Friday will add just a couple degrees of improvement across the region, getting into the 40s to upper 50s, maybe even 60 for Burley on Friday. Again, sunshine, break between systems. Saturday, very similar readings across southeast Idaho here for temperatures, and here comes our second wind event. Continuing to monitor, this forecast hasn't changed too terribly much either, so that's a good sign, but very similar looking to the event that we're about to see today. Sustained wind values generally about 20 to 30, maybe 35 miles per hour, maximized in that eastern Magic Valley to Snake Plain corridor. And over here on the right, wind gusts, again, getting up into 45, maybe 50 miles per hour across that region. We will be drier come Saturday, so it's going to be really interesting to see how that blowing dust does or doesn't play out today, kind of help calibrate our expectations for what that threat might look like coming up with Saturday's event. Finally, Sunday, a little bit cooler for your temperatures across the region, generally 40s and 50s. So that's what we're looking at. Again, focus is today and Saturday with wind and blowing dust, and otherwise nothing terribly impactful across the region. Feel free to reach out if you have questions, comments, or concerns for us. And as always, have a safe day.